Very nice of you. Thank you very much indeed. And welcome to the Pyramid Game. In a moment or two, we'll be checking out some more classic categories here. But first, we've got to meet our Pyramid partners. And our first celebrity is a lady who spends an awful lot of her time looking in the mirror, especially on a Sunday. It's Eve Pollard. Nice to have you on the show, Eve. In fact, you are the editor of one of the few papers still being brought out very close to Fleet Street, but the name lingers on, doesn't it, for all newspapers?
I think that Fleet Street will always be used as a generic term for the British press, wherever we are. But yes, there are very few of us left. The last few are trickling away this spring. Yeah,
there you are, of course, in Maxwell House there. That's not a plug for the drink either, I have to tell you. There are wonderful words, and when this is a word game, of course, there are wonderful words which are current and are used commonly in nearly all newspapers, aren't they, in headlines. I love those.
Well, words like slur would never have survived, except it's short. You have to think of short words for headlines.
Right.
So slur and choss, or chaos, as it really is, I think there's always a quite small word.
Slam is one of those I like too.
Yes,
I love the idea of somebody being slammed.
And jail instead of prison, you see, because you're just trying to squash as much in at the top.
Absolutely. The secrets of the newspaper industry here. Eve, nice to see you on the show. Now, you are partnering a gentleman who returns from yesterday. His name is Tony Fisher. As we know, he comes from Whaley Bridge near Stockport on the Derbyshire, Lancashire, Cheshire borders thereabouts, isn't it?
That's right, yes.
Not quite sure where it is still.
In Derbyshire, just.
We discovered yesterday that you want to open a taverna on a Greek island, and in fact, you generally like visiting pubs, I'm told, anyway, yeah?
Under duress, you know, but I have to be dragged there.
Do you just visit them? I mean, is it a hobby of yours to go all around the country and try out the different beers?
No, not quite that much, no.
It's just a Friday night, Saturday night occupation, eh? All right, it's good to have you here with us. We've got Tony and Eve. And now we welcome a gentleman who knows all about the Pyramid Game. He's well noted, of course, for his quips and quotes, but he now has 2 novels under his belt, which is why he walks in the most peculiar way. It's Nigel Rees. I must say, the absolute truth is I read The Newsmakers on holiday last year when it came out in paperback. I'm sorry you didn't get the hardback royalties from me, but very steamy stuff. Are you excited when you wrote that?
Yes, I wrote one of the most sexy scenes on a railway journey from London to Leeds, full of businessmen going about their work, and there I was with the steam coming out of the top of my pen.
I mean, was it based that on real people? Would they recognise themselves in it?
It was all based on a television news organisation, which should be nameless, so I had to invent my own. But no novelist actually uses whole people and puts them right into a novel. You use bits of people, and then the character takes over.
Sure. Well, I've soon to get to grips with talent, and I know there's a third one in the pipeline, so nice to see you, Nigel. Welcome to the show. Let's meet the lady now who is partnering Nigel Rees. Her name is Katie Kent, and she lives in Surrey. Welcome, Katie. Nice to see you. Which particular part of Surrey do you abide in?
Walton-on-Thames.
Oh, I see. How very nice. And what do you do for a living?
I work in a bank.
You do?
I do.
Bank clerk, sort of,
Yes.
Clark Kent we've got here. It's got to turn into Superwoman. What do you do in your spare time?
As little as possible, really. Reading, crossword puzzles. I read everything that's not nailed down.
Right. Any peculiar ambitions? I ask you this because I know already what your ambition is.
Well, yes, I would like to go hot air ballooning.
Well, we'll provide the balloon and Nigel will give you the hot air. So we're going Katie and Nigel over here. Famous phrases we've got coming up here. Let's have a flash at them now. We see your place or mine. Pleased to see you. Come on down. That seems a long time ago. Dropping off. So what? And rigid digit. What lurks behind we do not know, but Eve is going to choose the first one.
Dropping off.
Dropping off, right, okay. Things that drip we have here, all right? Your example, a very simple one, a tap. We have 7 in the category. 30 seconds start now.
Something very cold and it hangs from the bottom.
Icicle.
Something you eat in a cone.
Ice cream.
Something that you smell with.
Your nose.
Something you clean up the floor with.
Brush. Mop.
No, it's wet. Mop. Something that you heat the room with.
Radiator.
Yes. Something you water the lawn with, long and thin and pointed.
Hosepipe.
Yes, something that floats round in your veins, preferably.
Blood. What a marvellous start to the show. They have got themselves 7 points. Eve was saying before, I'll never be able to do it, but you can, you see. You got 7 there with Tony. Right, what would you like, Nigel?
Could we have Come On Down?
Come on down, you certainly may have. And here we have, the down is to do with feathers, things that have feathers. Your example is a pillow, all right? Ready to go, Nigel and Katie. 30 seconds start now.
It's a bird with a wonderful tail.
Peacock.
This is the thing you go around the house with.
Feather duster.
This is a man from the subcontinent. Not Pakistan, but the other place.
India.
He comes from there. Yes, this is a type of pen with a long...
A quill.
Yes, it's a bird, a yellow bird in a cage.
Canary.
It's a snake, a type of snake, and it also goes around your neck.
A python. A boa.
Yes, it's the thing you sleep in.
A duvet.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And you might think that you got 7 points there. It is, in fact, only 6 because she said India rather than Indian, you see. But nevertheless, a good score. 6 points to Katie and Nigel. I think our adjudicator is feeling a little bit mean on this show. However, we've now got Tony to choose a category.
Your place or mine, please.
All right. Well, I say, we know what that sound means. It's the special Lucky 7 category, and there's an extra pyramid prize on offer here for you, Tony, if all 7 are guessed correctly in this round. We have places you could go to on a date. Your example is a cinema. Kissing in the back row of the movies, huh? We've got 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now.
With your feet, go along the pavement.
Go for a walk.
Yeah. Go to a social gathering.
Dance.
No,
A party.
yeah. A club where they play music. It's normally a long word.
Disco.
Short, yeah. Go to a theatre, a musical.
See a show.
Somewhere to eat.
A restaurant.
Somewhere to by a beach.
Oh,
By the beach.
Oh,
Near the beach.
The seaside. Oh, I do like to be beside it. Nevertheless, they've got a very good score here. They've got 12 points. But, of course, I regret to say no special pyramid prize. That one stays on to fight another day. We've got Pleased to See You, Toe What and Rigid Digits then, Katie.
We'll have toe what?
Toe What, all right. Things that pull other things. That's where the toe comes from. We have, as an example, reindeer, OK? 30 seconds, again on the clock. It starts now.
You tie the car, 2 cars
With a
together.
rope, tow rope.
You go to him to have your teeth fixed.
Dentist.
Use it on a farm.
Tractor.
Yes. You have one of these of war.
A tug of war.
Yeah. It's what goes into the front of the car to make it go.
Engine.
Yes. 2 poles joined
Magnetic?
together. Magnet, yeah.
Magnet.
Pincers.
Scissors.
Like
pliers.
scissors, yes.
Yep, that'll do us nicely. Thank you very much. You've got a couple of seconds in hand. They've moved on to 13 points. He's got a very competitive spirit, has Mr. Rees. I know that of old. But the same holds true for Eve, though, and you're only 1 point behind here. Choose Pleased to See You or Rigid Digit. Whichever you like.
Pleased to see you.
Pleased to see you, and I'm pleased to see you too. I'm sorry. Less of the socialising and on with the game. Things that are welcome, and your example is a present. We've got 30 seconds, it starts now.
You get a better job.
Promotion.
You go away for a couple of weeks.
Holiday.
Your lips meet somebody else's.
Kiss.
You're going to get married.
Engaged. Engagement.
You turn on the television and something really...
Programme.
It usually happens about 6 o'clock or
The
9
news.
o'clock.
Good news.
Right. It's very warm and you're going
Hot
to get a
weather.
nice tan.
Sunny day.
Sunshine.
Sunshine, yes indeed. And you could tell him because the time had run out. You've got a terrific score. I mean, have a look down there. You've now got yourself 17 points. And Tony could be deemed to be our champion, of course, as he's returning from yesterday. Will he be unseated, I wonder, as we turn to Rigid Digit? And you're going to describe, Nigel, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good man. Things that you do with your fingers, all right? And your example is poke, OK? We've got 7 more in this category, and your time starts now.
You do, it's a card game.
Snap.
You do it with the guitar.
Strum.
You do it with bread.
Break.
No.
Need.
Yes. You have, it's a sort of heart attack. Rhymes with poke.
Stroke.
It's on a railway train, so that the train can go or stop.
Signal.
You do this with a writer.
Typewriter. Type.
You do this with what you've just got. I do it. I'm one of them.
A writer. Right.
What to write down?
Yes, you're right, and another full house. That means that Katie and Nigel are the winners. Well, actually, one of those days, Tony, you know, you've got your £100 yesterday, but you were up against a team which really matched minds then. 17 points on another show could have put you through to play the pounds game again, but nevertheless, it's not good enough to beat the 20, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, well, never mind.
Thank you for taking the time to join us again. It's been marvellous to see you take your £100, plus, of course, the special pyramid trophy. Eve, you'll be matching minds with Katie in part 2, of course, but Katie, along with Nigel right now, is got to go and play for pounds. Are we sitting comfortably?
Yes, thank you, Steve.
So listen with Daddy here, right? Now then, Katie, you're looking forward to this, I think, actually.
Yes.
You're looking as bright as a button. All right, now, Nigel isn't going to wave his hands around.
No, I'm putting my hands under my legs.
Sitting on them, that's right. As I say, he knows all these rules and regulations. I'll therefore just tell you there are 60 seconds on the clock, and it starts now.
Sorts of the things that you have in a kitchen and you
Kinds
eat
of
off.
kitchen utensils, kinds of
Eat
eating
Eat off.
plates.
What do you eat off? The big thing?
Table.
Plural.
Tables.
Yes. Items that bread, scones.
Things from the bakers.
What
Types of bread.
No, items is right. Things that you
Keep going.
that you do this thing within the kitchen.
Oh,
Bread.
things that you cook with, things that you bake with.
Sorts of things that you carry things in.
Kinds of bags.
Yes.
Shopping bags.
Singular.
Bag.
Yes. Sorts of.
Oh, a kind of shopping bag. Kinds of
Kind.
shopping. Kinds of
Other word of
shopping
kind.
bag. Types of.
Yes. Reasons for earning a living.
Why you do a job.
What's the word given, four-letter word for the business?
Why you go to work.
Yes.
Right, it was moving on there. Let's hear it. 325, that's £125, which is terrific, Katie. You'll be playing with Eve, of course, in part 2 of the show. Therefore, a new contestant for you to meet. Still feeling competitive?
Oh, yes.
It's all happening here on the Pyramid Game. We'll see you in just a couple of moments. Thank you very much indeed, and welcome back. Now, Katie Kent has matched minds and made money with Nigel Rees. Therefore, she's nipped across smartly to the other side of the studio to join Eve Pollard. The sum in question, by the way, £125. Therefore, a new contestant partnering Nigel, and we welcome Keith Dean, who comes from Leeds. Nice to see you, Keith.
Nice to see you.
And tell me what you do, sir.
I'm studying to be an architect.
Are you now?
Final year of a very long course.
A long, long
Finish
course.
in June.
Right, well, I hope you qualify with
Yeah,
a good
hope so.
degree, at the end of that. You've got designs on the Pyramid Pounds, of course, here with us
yes.
today. And amongst your hobbies, you collect handicap books?
That's right, yes. I've actually got an original Reg Smythe cartoon signed, so it's sort of like
Have you?
created an interest. I've been collecting them
Worth
for
a few
long.
bob that these days, I would
Yep.
imagine, too. And you've taken up a couple of other pursuits recently as well.
Yes, started playing golf over the summer. And
Golf, eh?
And one of my friends taught me to juggle over Christmas.
Good heavens above. The golf, because you've got handicap and handicaps here. What about the juggling? What do you juggle with? Oranges, clubs, what?
Anything in threes at the moment. I'm trying to graduate to 5, but it's a bit difficult.
I'm sure it is. Well, let's see how you make out here on the Pyramid Game. Welcome, Keith Dean. Let's have a swift varder at these new categories up here as they flash in front of your face. The cha-cha, subjects taught, Big Dipper, trouble brewing. I bet you know what lies behind that. Ouch, and in the pink, and we'll start with Nigel.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch, you shall have. And we have simply here things that hurt. Your example is cramp. Okay? Let me not cramp your style, though. You've got 30 seconds. It starts now.
In the mouth. And
Toothache.
it's a sort of balloon that comes up.
A blister.
You break something. It's another word for break.
Fracture.
Yes. You do something to your leg and it's very painful.
An injury.
It rhymes with...
Sprain.
Yes. It's in up here.
Headache.
Yes. It's like a black mark comes up.
A bruise.
Yes. And it's hot. Flame...
Scald.
No,
Burn.
yes.
Yeah, that's it. And they have got themselves, ladies and gentlemen, 7 points. Oh.
It's going to be a hard one.
Throwing down the jolly old gauntlet there he was to you, Eve, I fancy. So what would you like to pick now?
Well, the dance we're just old enough to remember, the cha-cha.
Only just, eh? Words that start with the letters C-H-A. C-H-A. And your example, we'll give you one here, is channel. Right. 30 seconds on our clock. It starts now.
You write on the blackboard with
Chalk.
it. You alter something.
Change.
You stay in it on a Swiss mountain.
A chalet.
You can make necklaces out of it, or you can pull boats.
Chain.
Yes. If you and I were having a really long talk.
Chat. Chatter.
Yes. Somebody in a play or in a film.
A character.
Somebody who's really nice and who really wins you
charming.
over.
Yes, and we give you that one too. Another 7 points there. A battle royal, no less. Right, Keith, it's your first opportunity to choose here.
We'll go for in the pink, please.
Aha! Out of the first time of asking, you've come up with the lucky 7, of course. An extra special prize on offer if we get all 7 answer correctly here. Things that might be pink. And your example is a carnation.
Right.
All right. We have 30 seconds for you. The time starts now.
It's a fish.
Salmon.
Yes. You have it, it's in Bucks Fizz with orange.
Soda.
Drink.
Soda.
It's a celebration, it bubbles over.
Champagne.
It's a bird that stands on one leg with a big beak.
Not an emu.
It sounds like flamenco.
From
You say it? Pass. It's a cartoon character, the pink.
Santa.
A large omen with a trunk and tusks.
Elephant.
Girls wear them in the hair.
Ribbons.
Yep, actually, you caught up fairly well there because I know you were really going for it to get the special prize, which you didn't get, but nevertheless, you've added another 5, taking them on to 12 points. Righty-ho, we have 3 left, and it's going to be Katie.
We'll go for the Big Dipper.
Big
please.
Dipper, right. And here we have 7 things that can fall. Right, that's the dipping question. Your example is temperature. All right, got that? You've got 30 seconds. It starts now.
At nightfall, when the sun goes down.
Darkness.
No, just before darkness.
Evening.
Well, it's evening time. What do they call it? Rhymes with rusk.
Oh, dusk.
It's white and it falls from the sky.
Snow.
He fell off a wall.
Humpty Dumpty.
Throw it at weddings.
Confetti.
Yes. Twinkle in the sky.
Star.
Yeah. Famous waterfall in Canada, America.
Niagara.
Yeah. Jump out of an aeroplane.
Woohoo!
Parachute.
Yes, a parachutist. In fact, you were almost there, and you picked up speed as you went along the line, taking you into the lead with 13 points. But it's close. It couldn't really be closer, could it? Subjects taught, trouble brewing, and Nigel.
Trouble brewing, please, Steve.
Right, and it is, as you might have expected, words associated with bear. Right, and your example is hug. We have 30 seconds for you both, and it starts now.
In the icy north, in...
Polar bear.
something you cuddle in bed.
Teddy bear.
A sort of funny bear with a light, sort of a bearded face.
Is it a character?
No, not a character, a type of bear.
Grizzly bear.
Yes, a small one.
Baby bear.
Smaller, like a wolf.
Cub.
A cartoon character.
Yogi bear.
Yes. Australian, on a tree.
Koala bear.
Yes. A cuddly bear, like a zebra crossing another type of zebra crossing.
This is the man, of course, who did the zoo quiz, so he knows all about these things, so animals and zebras and all that. A panda is what we were after, but nevertheless, a good score here. They've set the standard. It's 18 points. Which means there is only 1 left up there, and it is subjects taught. Who's going to describe? You've decided that you're best at this role here, Eve, huh?
If you could call it best, yes.
Well, let's say better, maybe. Make it the comparative. In subjects taught, we have things that can be tight, but like a muscle. That's your example, OK? Things which can be tight. We've got to put 30 seconds on the clock, and it starts now.
Something you put round your figure and holds it in.
Oh, belt.
No,
Corset.
big, yes. When you want to really get the best out of an orange, you...
Squeeze it.
Somebody who was very mean and tight.
Scrooge.
Yes. Something that can stretch, you put it in your knickers.
Elastic.
Something that you tie around you know, if you're bleeding. And
A bandage.
No.
A tourniquet.
Something that can be tied if you had a lot to eat for Christmas. You
belt.
wear them on your bottom half of your...
Tights.
No.
Trousers.
Yes.
Oh, ever so just. I thought there was going to be a tie-break there for a moment, but you managed to get your trousers in, if not on, and that means, of course, that Katie and Eve are the winners. Oh, well, we couldn't design a victory for you there, Keith.
Never mind.
I'm sorry to
I've
say.
enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
How long is the course, in fact, that you're
There's
taking?
3 years of a degree, and then do a year out, and I'm on the final year of a diploma now.
Some practical
2
work
years,
as well,
yeah.
And you want to go, I know, because we haven't had time to talk about this, and you won't be coming back, but tell us about your ambition to go to Las Vegas. Why is that?
Well, just to go in the casinos and hopefully have spent the money I would have won today.
Absolutely. Are you a gambling man by nature?
If I could afford it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry we don't have any pounds for you, but
Never
we
mind.
do, of course, have the special Pyramid Trophy. Thanks for being with us, and our thanks to you, Nigel. You managed to play for pounds once today, anyway, and I hope you'll join us again later in the year. All the best with novel number 3.
Thank you.
Out in a couple of months?
In October, A Family Matter is its title.
A Family Matter.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. In the meantime, let's go with the ladies and play for pounds. Right. I know you were itching to do this bit anyway.
No,
weren't you?
absolutely petrified.
Not at all. Well, you're going to match mine. You're going to make money, we hope. There are piles of pounds up there. In total, 275. I've got 25 across the bottom 3 times, 250s in the middle, and £100 at the top. Now, the difference between this game, of course, is that you can pass on these. Don't linger too long on them if you're struggling. You can go back to them once you've got to the top, OK? But give everything a reasonable go. You know about this, Katie,
I
anyway,
do,
don't you? Because
yes.
you've done it before. OK, 60 seconds, and it starts now.
It's a celebration that you have after Christmas.
New Year.
No, well after that, in the spring.
Easter.
And all about it.
Well, the Easter holidays.
No more. All sorts of arrangements.
The different days over the Easter holiday. Shrove Tuesday.
No, just
Pass.
everything possible to do with. Another way of saying, somewhere where you dive in, and all the different bits of it.
At the swimming pool. Things at the swimming pool.
Not things. Another way of saying all the different ingredients.
Parts of the swimming pool.
When things are in the freezer.
Things that are freezing.
Where you go to watch.
Aha. Right. Let's see. OK, well, another £50 added to that then, Katie. So you've now got, what, it was 125 before, so it's 175. And, of course, you can come back tomorrow, hopefully. You're allowed a third crack at this, you see. Things to do with Easter. No, not so easy to describe, eh?
Very, very hard.
Chocolate eggs, that's about the only thing I can... Well, I'm going to church, of course, about the only 2 things I can do. Shrove Tuesday. Famous race courses we got to there. What can we think of? Sandown Park, Kempton, places like that. Yeah. However, we didn't do that. We got that amount of money, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow,
Thank you
Katie.
very much.
Eve, thanks for playing the game.
It's great fun.
Enjoyed it? It's easier editing a newspaper, though, isn't it? Smashing to see you. We'll see you at the same time tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of the Pyramid Game. See you then. Bye-bye.